to start off, I'd love to hear just a little bit more about Viridis Terra and what its mission is.
Yeah, okay. So Viridis Terra exists since 2015. So its
Cool.
mission is to restore the land for the benefit for all. We're not an NGO, we're a profit company, but that this profits be shared with every stakeholder.
Nice.
So we start off developing biotechnology for restoring land on mining sites. Degraded land are very hard to restore.
Right.
They're
For
really
sure.
low pH, metal contaminated, directly on bare rocks. So we're
Mm,
able to grow trees and shrub on those um, like rocky soil. In 2017, we received a contract by the government, uh, Quebec government, to restore more than 200 hectares of land in Haiti. Um, so it's
wow.
very socially and politically difficult place to restore land.
Right.
And in 3 years, we had pretty good success, so that we had another 3 years contract starting
Nice.
this year in Haiti. In 2018, we started to do some business development in Latin America, so
Okay.
Colombia, Peru, Mexico, Republic
Hmm.
Dominican, and Panama.
Right.
In 2019, we opened a subsidiary in Peru. So it's been more than 2 years now that we're developing a project uh, to develop our product, which called RFLR, so Integrated Forest Landscape Restoration. So the
Nice.
RFLR units are meant to restore very large area of land. We're
Hmm.
starting phase one at 3,000 hectares,
Okay.
phase two 30,000 hectare, and phase three 100,000 hectare per year
Wow.
of restored land. If successful, and if we can scale up, we want to scale up at that pace within 10 years. We could solve half of the degraded problem of Peru. And we
Wow.
want to open a new subsidiary every 2 years. So next year, in 2 years, will be maybe like Panama or Republic. We're already looking for Colombia, maybe Brazil. Stuff are moving. Also, it's not like a standstill,
Right.
unmoving thing that we live in. But yeah, basically, as I said, like we're pretty much advanced. Like we're having identified 23,000 hectare of land in Peru, ready to restore 3,000 hectare right now, and we just closed a 2.5 US dollar round, seed round, to help us, develop not the project, but the platform, the Outflower platform that will enable to do scale up. So that platform is made of three component. So a fintech component to enable to get impact investment from institution, corporation that wants to offset their credit, their mission, as well individual that would like to have an impact on the fight on climate change. So we want to democratize this. This principle of helping the planet to be restored. The second component is the data management platform. So all drone and satellite data management to be able to do this restoration at a very large scale, and having
Right.
especially transparency and traceability to prove that all the impact investment went on degraded land to restore them. Third component of our platform is a zero deforestation commodity platform, so that any distributor that would like to have those kind of commodity could could see all the traceability and transparency on our platform, to see that really their commodities are coming from degraded land, restored degraded land. And all this to to address this big challenge of the 2 billion hectare of land that is degraded right now. Yeah,
It,
that's about it in a big shell. Like if you have any more question, answer them. But that's the
yeah.
high level pitch.
For sure, for sure. Well, you got so much there. I mean, you got three different parts. You've got the remediation in Haiti and in Peru, and then you've got the drones with all the data that's going on for your second level, and then you've got the third level there. What was that third
Yeah,
level again?
basically, if you want to see, is that we have the mining industry, the international development that we've started to do in Haiti, but we're open to do in Madagascar and other part of Africa. So there are
Right.
two parts, and that part is the RFLR package. And the RFLR package needs to be unpacked because In this, you have our Trees of Life fund that we can bring in pack investor, as well as our
Hmm.
Trees of Life platform, which is made of three components: the financial one, the data management, and the RFLR is a big package. And RFLR has been created because of our experience with the mining industry, creating the
Hmm.
biotechnology, national development, where we develop all those social skills. Because right now, like the land degradation is approached on a scientific approach. Like let's know how to restore land scientifically. With forestry knowledge, and that's it. But it's not how it works. Like the main reason why lands are deforested right now is because of poverty, poor community, and vulnerable communities. If you don't address the forestry and the deforestation on the social level too,
Yeah.
you're never going to find the solution, because you need to understand that, let's say you have a landholder, he has 40 hectares of land. Right now, he is deforesting and burning 2 hectares. Is that into a soil that he can do agronomy on it, like agriculture on it. He is using very poor methods of doing agriculture, and he's burning the soil. What he does is the capacity of the soil just go down,
Right. Right.
productivity of the soil just go down. What he do, instead of restoring his soil, he just burn another 2 hectares
Right. Right.
and then redo the process. And by, like right now, there's the Sincharoka community we're working on. They have
Hmm.
20,000 hectares of land. They're deforesting at a pace of 1,000 hectares per year,
Wow.
meaning like between
In 20
10,
years.
10 to 20 years,
Right.
there's nothing left there, right?
Right.
So, and this is not just happening with the Sincharoka community, it's happening all throughout the Amazonian forest in Peru. It's
Right.
happening all throughout the Amazonian forest in Latin America. And it's happening all throughout Africa, and it's happening in Asia. And so all this phenomenon is global phenomenon. We're going to wipe out all the canopy if we don't do anything. So we really have to have a model, a business model that is able to go large scale. If you look at like present like actual solution, you have all those NGOs, and God bless them, like they're doing a
Right.
great job, and it's very important. Problem is that the pace as which they receive the nation, you know enable them to do restoration is not quick enough compared to the degradation rate we're
Right.
facing.
Right.
So although they're doing a great job, they're not it's not fast enough to like to go counter the financial market.
Right, right. It's enough to maybe stymie it, but it's not enough to reverse it and get it going the opposite
Yeah,
direction.
it's not even fast enough to like we're facing like 50 million net loss of hectare per year. So
Wow.
net loss means that we have some gain and we have
Right.
some loss, but the loss is 15 million hectare per year more than what we're able to restore. So that's the average since 30 years. It's not the same, year by year. Sometimes
Right.
it's more, sometimes it's less. But, in average, we're losing like 15 million hectare of land every year. So that's a problem, because it means that after a while, there will be nothing left on the earth.
Yeah.
And like forest, you know, agriculture, this is what feeds us. Forest is what give sustainability on the earth, because the
Right.
root system is deeper. The capacity to put carbon in the soil is bigger than, and those system, like the cycle of those system will be like 60, 70, 80 years, while agronomy is yearly cycle. So we need to go toward from agronomy to forestry.
Mhm.
Agroforestry is agriculture plus forestry, and we need to make those two work together. And that's what Viridis is trying to do at very large scale.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. Reading on your website, you mentioned that the COVID-19 pandemic might cost us somewhere around, $2 trillion for the next 2 years or so. But this crisis of the climate and with forestry and all of this that's happening is going to cost us, 12 trillion each year for the next 80 years. So, what is your hope for the next 80 years with Viridis
Right,
Terra?
right now, like we're in, I'd say, in a turning point in history, in human history.
Right.
We have about 10 years to just turn the tide. After that, like it's going to be harder and harder and harder to just do it. So if right now the Latin America country has pledged 50 million hectare of land restored, and North America 15 million. Africa, like we're not working too much in Africa, but they've pledged, like their million F hectare. If we're able to do them, and Viridis model is conceived to be able to, like reach to those numbers, we can do it. I mean, we can do it.
Right.
But once we pass this, like, and once there's not even enough forest, like right now, the Amazonian forest is at a tipping point where it's not capturing carbon, but it's emitting carbon.
Oh
That's a
wow.
problem because a forest should capture carbon, not emit
Right.
carbon. But there's so much forest burning right now that it just emits more carbon that is capturing. Like we're really at a tipping point, and like we just received 2.5 million US. Right
Hmm.
now we're looking, and for all the listener, 20 million dollars. That's not a lot of money. Like for those big
No.
industry, we call that monkey money. Like it's just pocket change for them.
Pocket change. Right.
But this 20 million would enable us to rapidly restore 3,000 hectare and prove our model, and prove
Right.
that we can restore land in a profitable way. If we can prove we can restore land at a profitable way, it means that we can attract the financial market. Can attract the financial market, proving that we can benefit this system for all. Register as a company, but also landholder as very important stakeholder that right now because of poverty are destroying the land, as well as impact investor that like honestly they want to find this model that makes money, and that's we're fine with this. We're really
Right.
fine with making profit. Just that everyone needs to make profit, and we need to build this in equilibrium. And if we get this 20 million pocket in, we can prove a 3,000 hectare, and we can start to work toward our 30,000 hectare model. And as soon as we produce this, we will be able to emit license everywhere in the world, restoring, like first during 2 years, 3,000 hectare, and then within five
Right.
years, 30,000 hectare, and then within 10 years, 100,000 hectare everywhere in the world. And what we aim is that before the 15 to 20 years, we want to have given like more than 25 of those licenses that will produce 100,000 hectares. So if you multiply those numbers, and this is if we receive this money and we are able to go at this the path we want, we can Viridis alone can have a massive impact on the world
Wow.
degraded land. We need to have this first. We receive our 2.5 million US. See, angels believe in us. Now, it's the time for the fund. Like the fund and those big pockets. They need to trust us with this $20 million that we're able to restore within 2 years. This 3,000 hectare, and then prove our platform, prove our model, and just go right skyrocket and do the Elon Musk, like style. But instead of just putting a
Right.
satellite in the air, like putting canopy on the ground.
Right. And
And we
restoring our
really
ecosystem.
believe it's possible. It's just we need those believers that are behind us.
Right, for sure. That's your plan there is in the next 2 years to go through the 3,000 hectare and then scale up from there for 5 years and then 10 years. But during that first 2 years, you're also looking to hopefully get other license out there as well, right?
Yeah, during those 2 years, like we're in discussion, as I said, with people in Brazil, we're
Mm.
in with people in Colombia,
Right.
Republic Dominican, Panama, Mexico. There's also a project that I'm discussing with in RDC, DRC in English. So, and we're already in discussion with Temasek
Nice.
in Singapore. So for all the restoration in Asia, so South Asia. So I mean, we need to concentrate on what we're doing to do it well, but at the
Right.
same time, as you said, we need to start to develop all those relationships so that at a very fast pace, we can start to give those licenses. But like it's good to have a good franchise built up, but at the same time, it's good to develop more relationship to make that as big as we want to make it, and we're doing that. Just that it's a good equilibrium between like just shooting everywhere and not doing anything, which we feel too much company right now are doing, and just keep concentrating on our first model, be ready, very ready to multiply that very large scale.
Right. So you're just really, trying to concentrate first and then you can really grow
Yeah,
and just
expand,
just
expand
expand.
well.
Right.
We don't want to expand, we want to expand well.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Very cool.
We
Very
don't want
cool.
to turn this into another bubble, right? Because if it would turn that into a bubble, the damage this will do to the market, the damage a bubble will, if it bursts, a bubble would, yeah, be terrible. Then the bubble, we want to turn that into very solid, durable, large scale restoration scheme. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, and you mentioned before about the landowner who owns the however much land, then, they're going each time they're going to burn 2 more hectares and 2 more hectares. Like, how are you addressing that like social side of it of like changing their mindset? Like what is Terravirus?
Good question. Good
Yeah.
question. So right now, part of our model is to build a demonstration center. Center are very smaller, but they contain all of our model. Like I I didn't give you all the details, but we've developed like 40 different technical financial model that will respect both productivity as well as biodiversity. And all those models will be able to be seen within the administration center, so that all
Right.
the people, all the landholder can go there and see how we do it. As well, we have external, I don't know how you call that in English, but external people that they're not working for Viridis Terra, but they're working with Viridis Terra. They're kind of middle
Right.
people between the landholder and us that we hire, that they know the local culture, they know the social temperature of the
Right.
local area, and that's very important for us. Those external people and the demonstration center are the
Hmm.
two key components to plug our model, which is like very visionary but maybe hard to grasp for people on the ground. Those people that have needs, like they need they need specific stuff that we can our model will not account for, because all the different local realities will be different, and those external people will know how to deal with that. So and with the demonstration center, we'll give six official training per landholder in average per year, so that they will be trained on technical stuff, but also more social stuff, like positive masculinity, the place of the woman, and the importance of the place of the woman in those model. We make sure that all the contracts, we don't own any lands. We only own what we call the biological assets, so everything that grows on top of the land.
Hmm.
And we make sure all those contracts, are signed by both the man and the woman, so that they both have the responsibility of making that system works, and the legal responsibility. We have a lot. We also working with PS, so payment for ecosystemic service, directly out of the investment. There's some money that is put aside to give monthly to the landholder, so that while the system is producing and being profitable, they can sustain themselves through the restoration process. And also, we have three phases in our system. So first, we have a more, normal traditional agronomic system, so they can feed themselves like within 1-2 years. And after that, we have more energy wood system that will provide much more, um, I'd say, much more profit to them and to the investor within 5 to 8 years with the energy wood. which
Right.
grow fast but provide more rapidly more profit to them. And we have our timber model that will
Hmm.
be productive within 8, 16, 20, and 34 years, depending on uh, the species of the timber,
Right.
which will provide much of the profitability for the investor. So if impact investor have a very long-term investment
Hmm.
strategy, they will see that this system at the short term will be solid enough to resist, this deforestation cycle that landholder faces, then have more profitability within 5 to 8 years, and then have much more profitability within 10, 20, and 30 years. And why it's important to have like those cycles that last for so long is that if we want to sequester carbon, we need to prove that we will be able to sequester carbon for 50, 100 years, right? Because if you plant a tree but it's not there after 2 years, you didn't sequester anything. So the
No.
canopy needs to be there. The degraded land that is bare right now and has no trees needs to have trees in 15 and 100 years. So if you have productive crops, productive
Right.
forests, but you just do clear cut, it's not sustainable. You don't sequester any carbon. But if you
Right.
do a sustainable management of all those systems, and if you grow 3 trees and then pick one, and then grow 3 trees and pick one, and you build the canopy over time, that will be sustainable. That will sequester carbon. That will bring profit to those local communities. That will bring profit to the investor. That will be a whole sustainable, people, planet, profit system.
Definitely. So for this last question here, what's like one main takeaway that you would like people to, when they listen to this, just be like, okay, I understand. What do I need to do?
Invest.
Right, right, definitely.
Invest into durable system that will give an heritage not only to you, your kids, and but also your grandkids. Invest right now that in something that might not give you 5x your money in 2 years, but will give you so much to you and the next generations.
Right. And not only just to you, but also to these communities that you're investing in as well.
Yeah, yeah, the whole humanity, like the whole humanity needs forest. Like
Right.
right since the beginning of the industrial era, we've
Hmm.
lost 60 to 70% of biodiversity. Like all those carbon capture machine, to suck the carbon out of the air and put that in the ground. That's necessary and that's very good. It's just not what's giving to give us back biodiversity. We can look at the carbon problem into a simple carbon balance problem. We love to simplify problems. So yeah, if we suck carbon out of the air, we solve the carbon problem. The However, we're not, by doing this and only doing this, we're not going to solve the biodiversity problem.
Right.
Our solution is able to do that,
Right.
and um, and that's something to take into account into where you're going to put your money trying to solve this problem.
Definitely. Definitely. Very cool. All right. Great. Well, if somebody would like to connect with you, reach out to you, what is one the best way to really connect with you and be able to learn more or get in
Yeah,
touch?
so if we have two websites, so if someone wants to know what's the science between land degradation, you go to verister.com.
Hmm.
Uh, if you want to activate your involvement into solving this problem, go to
Right.
treesoflives.com.
Right.
There's an investment platform, where you can go and invest.
Definitely.
So yeah, if you want to know what we do, verister.com. If you want to act now, treesoflife.com.
Perfect. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this call. This was great. I learned so much about Viridis Terra. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.